Well, I guess start with
Okay.
joined here today with Mr. John Dunsworth, also known as Trailer Park Supervisor Jim Lahey.
Ex-cop, ineffectual, bisexual.
Well, you have a long history of acting. I was actually looking at some of the work you did back in 1978, and tell us a little bit about your career as an actor.
Well, I was in grade 9 at a private boys' school, and for some reason they cast me as Junius Hannaford Urban, signalman, United States Navy, the USS Kane, sir, in the Kane Mutiny Court Martial. And my marks shot up while I was doing this. Now, how I came first or second, by virtue of being in a play, I have no idea, but I should have realized then that there was something going on. But it wasn't until many years later that I took an elective at the University of Guelph in 1968. And I started playing things like Oscar Wilde, Shylock, and then I went home to Nova Scotia, and I opened my own theater. And here comes Pat and Randy. Randy, ta-da! Have a sit in the middle there, bud.
I'm middle.
Yeah.
No, you're better.
Okay, I'm better looking than you are. Yes, and I opened my own theater and taught at Dalhousie, directed for Theatre Canada, did 50 roles at Neptune Theatre, which is our professional theatre, and toured all over Nova Scotia and Newfoundland and Prince Edward Island, doing tours of various theatre companies. Then in the early 80s, I opened a casting company because I wanted to get film roles, and there weren't any. But when they say if you build it, it will come, it did. Films came to Nova Scotia, and I got to be in dozens. And I got to be in 3 different series. Lately, sci-fi series called Haven, and another one where I play a priest called Forgive Me. But Trailer Park is the longest gig I've ever had. Randy and I have been doing it since
16 years.
2000, yeah.
Yeah.
So you were in the black and white film, which was in 1999 or
Yes.
2000?
Yes.
So, and then you got involved with the first season. Tell us a little bit about how you both got involved with the show and how that's been.
Well, he got involved with another short film called One Last Shot that Mike Lattenberg did. And he was Mr. Lahey, but he was a pet store manager, a loser, alcoholic. He still plays a loser and an alcoholic, except he's the trailer park supervisor. But I don't think you're a loser, buddy.
I know,
I
Randy.
like the way.
I know.
But then when Mike Lattenberg did once it was decided that they were going to try to sell the show and make it into a series, that's when Mike asked you, John, to be Mr. Lahey in the trailer park.
Randy was friends with with the boys, Ricky and Julian. They had a pizza shop over in Prince Edward Island, which is one of the provinces in Canada. And it was a restaurant, pizza shop, and they used to make funny videos and send them to Mike Clattenburg, and he laughed his nickels off and decided to use them in the movies. I remember the day that he told me, he said, "These guys are superstars." And he was right.
But you didn't think we were going to be?
No, I didn't
You
think
thought
we
we
were
were just
superstars.
a bunch of poop
Yeah, I knew you were poop heads.
Yeah.
But if
That's what I thought.
if you give a poop head a nice hat, you know, you never know. You can send him right up there. Well, look at Don Trump. Oh my gosh.
But John is the one that actually taught us how to do stuff.
Yeah, sort
He
of.
was sort of our film tutor.
Yeah, sort
He
of.
would try
A little.
to teach us how to
It was hard.
be less.
Look, instead
idiotic.
of talking like this to the camera, you have to open up, right? And instead of having your eyes down like this, you know, you have your eyes up so that you ignore, like it's the third, fourth wall or whatever it is. But they were easy teacher, and they taught me a lot. And
But we haven't won any awards because of your
No.
wonderful tutelage.
yeah,
Hear that, tutelage?
you know what tutelage really means?
It means toot toot on a ledge.
I know. Randy takes things very literally.
I'm not Randy, I'm Pat.
Oh,
I'm sure
yeah, Pat's worse.
you're Mr. Dunsworth
Yeah.
because you've got pens.
Yeah, I know. Look,
It's a nice
Randy's
t-shirt.
going to get me one of
Mr.
them
Lahey does
pocket
not
protectors.
cross his legs Mr. Lahey's too drunk to cross.
Yeah, just like
Mr. Lahey's more like
Hey, sit up.
No, but that's what you.
Randy, don't
Right.
be so mean.
That's the action.
Listen, Leslie. What?
Oh, I think they might. I couldn't tell if they were about to play a video or not.
Who?
But they're just playing putting up the majestic.
Oh, they're more interesting than us.
No.
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
I just want to
I
make sure
know.
there's no sound on the
Yeah,
back.
they are actually.
So the show is now has been around for going on 16, 17 years
Yeah.
now. I want to say, I mean, it seems like the show has probably employed hundreds of people, if not thousands.
No, not thousands.
But hundreds and hundreds of people. Your
Hundreds.
your daughter's
Dozens.
one of the main stars of the show,
Sarah.
and Trinity is the character. Trinity has grown up with the show.
Yes, she's
excuse
in
me for one
university
second.
now.
Hey, Dan? Can we hold the sound for a bit until the end of the interview? Thank you. Thank you. That's okay. Yep.
Thank you.
My son works on the show. He's a carpenter, and he does the sets, builds all the sets. And I've had one daughter, Zoe, works on casting for the show, and daughter Molly has been in the show. She was starring in Hobo with the Shotgun with
Yep.
Rutger Hauer. So I have 4 kids, and they're all in the biz.
So is in some ways is Trailer Park Boys kind of like a large family?
In some ways, of course. Yep. Just like the Republican Party.
We've lost a few members of the family, like the guy that plays Philadelphia Collins, Richard Collins,
Yeah.
passed away, and
Rita McNeil, who pulled out the dope for Ricky in
Yeah.
season 5, she passed away. And Denny Doherty, who used to sing with the Mamas and the Papas, he was in the show and he
season
passed away.
7, yeah.
But we've had other people like the girl who played Trina, my daughter, in season 3, I think it was, Ellen Page. She's
Season 2, yeah.
season 2. She's a big deal in Hollywood.
Yeah. Actually, you bring up a good point about the musicians. I mean, Rush, Corey Hart. Tell us a little bit about the musicians that have gotten involved with the show over the years.
I don't think Corey Hart ever got involved, but Sebastian Bach and Alex Lyson from Rush and Tragically Hip. That's a few. And of course, yeah, Denny Doherty, Mamas and the Papas. So it's pretty crazy.
Yep. We have. There's a lot of people who are. I mean, I don't know too much about big name stars, but you know who's in season 10? Season 10 coming up in March 28th?
No.
Snoop Dogg. Yeah, and he turned out to be a great find, actually. Way better actor than one might think. And real quick study with his lines. A lot of people think the Trailer Park is sort of made up on the spot. It's highly scripted. It's worked on for months with Ricky, Julie, and Bubbles. I talked to Julian the other day, J.P. Tremblay. He said that season 11 seems to be writing itself. That's good. Yeah, that's good. That means you won't be in it.
Oh,
I was watching an interview you had on the CBC network where the anchor was giving you kind of a hard time.
Yeah.
And could you tell us a little more about, you were saying about the happiness that the show has brought to people?
Oh, look, people, how many people have said,
you don't know.
you don't know, man.
You just don't know,
You
man.
don't know. You
Man,
can't
you don't
tell.
know.
You got me through such a hard time.
If you only knew.
Oh, if you only knew, man.
But you don't know.
No, you don't know.
My father?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know.
No. And look,
And my brother?
but
Oh,
to
you
be
just
more
don't.
serious,
It's true, though.
we always dedicate to our vets, Canadian and American, who we lost a lot, and we're still losing a lot. And
Well, we get people that talk to us after every show that say, you got me through some tough times.
Yeah.
Your show just
When we were over in
made
it.
me laugh when I was thinking there was nothing I could do.
Yeah.
And they thank us, and I say, well, thank you for being a fan.
yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, of course you do, because you're such a pandering. Anyway,
I'm a salesman, so I
he is.
try
He
to
is.
sell.
He is.
I sell myself.
no, but seriously, when the boys were over in Afghanistan and Iraq, Trailer Park helped to get them through, and
Oh, I thought you meant the boys went over to Afghanistan.
And the girls.
The only one that went over was Bubbles.
yeah, he went over.
But you're talking about the military that's
Yeah,
in Afghanistan.
yeah.
All right.
There was
They
a-
come back and watch it at the end of the day and said, you got us through the shitstorm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time. And there are 1,000 individual stories where people Last night, a woman brought Randy a cake made like a cheeseburger.
Double cheeseburger. A double cheeseburger cake.
Yeah.
That was worth $12.58.
At least.
So she was a student and spent her drinking money on a cake for Randy Bandy, which I was very impressed.
But students even say, and people come up and they say, "You got me through high school," and we had two nurses that came to all of our openings and everything, and they flew 2,000 miles to come to our parties, and they work in palliative care, and they play trailer park in the wards where they go, and they claim that it really helps. So, I know we belabored the question there, but
Oh, no.
moving on.
What is Trailer Park Boys demonstrate about the criminal justice system? And I guess it's a two-part question, but be it intentionally or unintentionally, does Trailer Park Boys help to show that maybe some of these people we perceive as criminals aren't actually dangerous?
Well, how many thousands of people are incarcerated in the States for smoking a little marriage of poopsie? I mean, it's insane. And why does that happen? Well, it's because people make money on penitentiaries. You know, you have judges, and we have two in Canada, that got kickbacks for throwing people in, in reform schools and making people hardcore. A couple people smoke a little dope and they come out and they're hardcore. It's so stupid. The war on drugs is the biggest. Who was that? Ronald Reagan.
Well, George Green is the dumbest cop.
Yeah.
The dumbest. So it just goes to show you that every once in a while, everyone is dumb.
Yeah.
Well, no, George Green's always dumb.
Yeah. But we don't have an agenda. I mean, Trailer Park Boys, Ricky loves jail. Nobody really likes jail. Well, some people do, doofuses,
Yeah, Brooke in Shawshank Redemption liked jail. He didn't like it and then he hung himself because he got out. He didn't know how to live on the outside.
I thought oh no, that was a different one.
Those
Yeah,
red,
the little-
red's one.
I like the one that walked along the beach and when he got out.
Well, that's Andy Dufresne.
And Reed.
Yeah.
That's a real guy.
Yeah.
He didn't commit the murder.
No.
But on Trailer Park, like if there's a gun on Trailer Park, Ricky will get shot in the bum
Yeah.
or the foot.
Yeah.
And that's a very lucky place to get hit instead of in the heart,
Yeah.
or the liver,
Yeah.
or the intestines,
Or the penis.
or the brain. Oh, if he got his
I
cock
think
shot,
he did. I think he might
that
have
would be
once.
horrible. And I think his daughter shot him in the foot or in the butt. No, she
Yeah.
shot him in the bum.
Yeah.
And so the idea is sometimes guns have bullets that can actually pierce a human.
Yeah.
That's
But-
what happens to Ricky.
But I mean, the show
And
is
cops are not as stupid as Ricky
kind
makes
of
out to believe,
dog,
right?
mock dog.
I mean, he says,
But
Jim, Jim, and
it's-
then he gets let off.
yeah, but that's
Yeah. And it's like, that's
Well,
not true.
well,
But it's funny that Julian freezes up.
Julian is sexy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Muscles. He's got big muscles.
the only difference between me and Julian, a couple of drinks.
But at the same time, at least on the show you get to see police officers, the court system,
And it's deeply-
and the judges let Ricky swear
Yeah.
because he said he couldn't communicate properly.
Yeah.
So it does. Sometimes people go to jail and then
It's
they
deeply
get out.
philosophical too.
Yeah.
Because what do you get when you plant shit seeds?
Shit weeds.
Shit weeds. And
That's right.
and does the shit apple fall far from the shit tree, Randy?
If it's on a hill.
Birds of a
Good
shit
rule.
feather
Flock
flock together.
Flock together,
Absolutely.
Right.
I was reading that you're very much in favor of getting rid of the VLTs, the video lottery terminals
Yeah,
from
in
the bars.
public places, yeah.
What kind of influence do they have in Canada?
Well, thousands of people a year die because they commit suicide because they wreck their lives. And in the U.S. as well. There's only a couple states that have banned them. But I tell you, when a government preys on its own people to make money, something wrong.
Does the character, Mr. Lahey, help to show the dangers of alcohol?
To some people, yeah. Some people say you help me kick the habit, and some people say, I can drink you under the table, Lahey. And I say, of course you can. One beer makes me drunk. So, no, I never liked drinking. I always thought it was just a waste of time, a waste of money, and a terrible waste of the next day. Randy, I feel so bad.
It's because in real life he can't stay in one place, and he doesn't like sitting down for a meal in a restaurant either.
No.
He like gets up, talks to every other table, and says, "What's that you're eating? Can I have a piece?" And then he goes to the next one.
No,
And
Randy,
then-
it's not quite
so
that bad.
that's what it is. But normal people like to sit down and have a conversation and a couple of drinks. You're just abnormal.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, it could be called OCD. It could be called, but I always carry a deck of cards along.
You're an asshole.
I know. I'm an asshole.
Assholes.
And I just play solitaire because I can't stand being inactive. Like if you weren't asking me questions right now,
He'd be playing solitaire.
I'd be
Because
doing.
he's bored with us.
I'm bored with it.
Technically, he's only cares about himself.
I do. I'm a narcissistic, egocentric,
Yeah.
solipsistic.
But a nice asshole.
Yeah.
It's tight.
I've got
Yeah.
Sebastomania.
Yeah.
I got two last questions for you. One, it's been a few months since Stephen Harper left office.
Yeah.
Have you seen some positive changes with the new prime minister?
You
People
know,
seem happier, don't they?
yeah, but the thing is that already there's the carpers. I would
That's
say,
a person from Cape Breton, the Cape.
yeah, but that's not a. Do you know what carping is? It's not carpe
Carpe
diem.
scrotum.
What?
That means you got a carpet on your scrotum.
Do you know what that's called? A merkin. You know what a merkin is?
It's a type of
You know what a
fish.
fluffer is?
Yes.
Good. Well, a fluffer usually is hired to comb a merkin. A merkin is false pubic
It's
hairs.
a type of fish.
No, it isn't.
The merkins are swimming upstream.
I tell you, here's the thing. When I say that Trailer Park Boys has no agenda,
Yeah.
it's not religious, not political. It's just like Mike Clattenburg. I asked Mike. I said, Mike, because for years I said to people, why? Like I can't understand why we're in 190 countries all over the world. We've been translated into so many different languages now, and I don't understand why. And I ask people why, and they say because it's funny. And I said, well, why? What makes it funny? And they said, well, it makes me laugh. And I asked Mike Clattenburg, who started the whole thing with Randy and the other three guys. He said, Trailer Park is about losers. He said, just like everyone, we're all losers if we admit it, but we're hero losers. And when you think about it, it doesn't make any sense, but I think it encapsulates the whole paradigm. What do you think, Ben? What do you think, Randy?
That's right, yeah.
I think it's true.
Yeah.
But
Hero
also the swearing alleviates pain. And it's been proven. If you take your hand and you put it in an ice bucket,
You'll piss yourself. If it's
no,
warm water.
no, there's warm water.
Like when you sleep.
If you need to be, you can try that.
Okay.
But there's all kinds of. But if you like, here's the thing. If you stick your hand in a bucket of water, just say you can hold it there for 46 seconds. Oh, you dry it off. You can dry it off on Randy's shirt if he's nearby.
Randy doesn't wear shirts.
And
Pat
you-
Roach does.
and you warm it up, and then you stick it back in, and you go, holy thunder and beanstalk, bark, fuckle, punjaggy, fuckle, woggle, snack bustering, jing bang, whoa, 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 Methuselah, mukba. You can hold it for well over a minute. That's true. And that's why when you hit your head like that, and you go, holy thunder and cundwaddle, it hurts less. That's why those people who play tennis, like Serena Williams, she's got lots of millions, got nice boobies too. Whack, when she goes, huh, like not only does that alleviate and diddly that, it's an expression. It's like a
So
higher.
basically, people like Justin Trudeau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the
That's
final
the moral of
yeah,
the story.
the moral of the story.
Yeah.
If we had time, I'd show
Because
you
he's
a
young
card
and
trick.
handsome.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
like,
Last question.
Oh, good.
In season 8 of
We made it, Randy.
We did it.
We made it.
Wait,
I
hold
should
on.
ask him a
1
question.
second.
Season 8 of Trailer Park.
Hey guys.
Hello?
Hey, we're almost done with the interview. We just need like 1 more minute.
Quiet on the set, please. Camera rolling, sound rolling, and
Action.
Last question. In season 8 of Trailer Park Boys, we see Ricky using these marijuana hash coins as a form of currency. if marijuana were legalized and people were able to grow this plant and use it for bartering, use it as a currency, what kind of effect do you think that would have on poverty?
I think that marijuana was always legal until about 1930, somewhere in there, when DuPont and some other company lobbied the government to make hemp illegal so they could sell their new nylon and their new fabrics. Before that, marijuana was available. Doctors had it in their bags. They sold it in pharmacies. Queen Elizabeth or Queen Victoria used it for her bad periods. They've been using it in places like China for 4,500 years. It was the first known plant that was used for curative purposes. I think that when people, like, there is something really nice about getting stoned at the end of the day when your work is all done. For me, if I have a couple of totes, I get very creative. And I mean, the next day you look back on what you wrote or what you painted and you go, huh. But who did it hurt? I mean, seriously.
Well, really, the thing is if poor people had hash coins,
Yeah.
they'd get all the food they wanted. Like, you could take a hash coin to the Burger King, and the guy at the friggin' drive-through would say, "Here you go, bud," and give you all kinds of stuff.
I'm suggesting
So
that.
I think that it would basically probably take over money.
No.
And everyone would start to
No,
get paid
no.
in hash.
Familiarity breeds contempt.
Right? So
I
then
think
you go to a
usage-
vending machine
No.
and you'd shove in your hash coin,
No,
and then
sorry.
you'd get Twinkies, and
Look,
you'd get chips.
Look, some
right?
things just don't
They
catch
would probably
on.
go, doo-doo-doo-doo,
No,
this is
Randy,
good.
Look,
So
have
they're
you ever
good
seen a
hash.
$2 bill?
Yes.
An American $2. I have an American $2 bill, and a lot of people don't even believe. They don't think it's real, and that's the same for marijuana. A lot of people think that marijuana is the devil's instrument. They do, but those same people, they don't think that about cigarettes and alcohol. Why? Because it's been accepted and taxed and used by the government. Like it's. What did was it Marx or Engels, someone said, religion's the opiate of the people? Well, religion has gone by the wayside. Go into any big city or town and the beautiful churches. You have a steeple here that is just incredibly beautiful, right here in Madison, Wisconsin. And it's beautiful, but compare it to the edifices of the monetary religion now with concrete and glass, huge towering buildings. They are the new church, my son, and nothing is going to replace the greed and grab for money. Doesn't matter how much marijuana you make into hash coins, it ain't going to work. You know why? Because Donald Trump and
I
his-
think if I had a pocket full of hash coins, I'd be the richest guy in the world.
Randy,
So I think you could go buy a nice new car, just slide a bunch of hash coins, like they'd be about this big, that big. in the
Randy,
back.
do you know-
Be like, "Here you go, man," and then the guy would be like, "Yeah, let's
but
party."
where are you going to get the hash coins?
You make it.
Yeah, how are you going to make it?
Well, you just get a grow op in your basement.
Okay, that's labor. The means of labor, Randy.
So, in other
do you know
words-
what the Malthusian doctrine is? Like, Randy, I taught you this before.
I'm not Randy. I'm Pat.
Okay, Pat. Randy.
You're not even Mr. Leahy. You're John Dunsmore.
Just wait, I'll be Leahy.
See,
I'll
I
be
told
Leahy.
you, he's got ADD, he's fucked, and he's an asshole.
Okay, well-
Bottom line is, I wish everyone had hash coins, because if someone didn't have money and wanted to pay me, I'd take a hash coin and say,
Randy,
"You owe me nothing."
Randy,
right? It'd be
I
like,
told you.
I got no money, but I got
The
a hash
means
coin.
of production are outstripped by the arithmetical means of production are outstripped by what is it? Not geometric, what's the other one?
Trajectory.
No, Randy, I taught you this, Randy.
I'm not Randy, I'm Pat.
Randy!
Mr. Leahy,
Randy!
you are not Mr.
Take off
Leahy.
your glasses.
You're John.
Take off your shirt.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it was Robert Malthus. He was a reverend, but he came up with this theory that says that population is going to outstrip production.
I think that actually Canada should switch their monetary money to hash coins, because then our dollar.
Are you glad
would
you
not
made that
drop.
question? Are you
It would
really
not drop.
glad?
It'd be like, oh, good, the Canadian
Blah,
dollar
blah,
now
blah,
costs
blah,
this much to get an
blah.
American dollar. Oh no, they've got hash coins, which is worth $2 American because it's good hash, right?
It's really good hash.
If you made your money smokable, wow.
Here's the thing. It's more fun to pretend to be drunk than it is to be drunk.
But I think
It
that
is. It's way more
the
fun.
drug dealers would definitely be poorer
thing
if there
is-
was just money hash.
If you knew,
Right?
if you knew that by
They'd be pissed off.
all you had to do is just tune your brain to say, I am now going to be, I'm going to draw upon my opioid
You
noises.
didn't just shit yourself, did you? It smells like shit. I think you did, man. Ooh. Gross, man. Ooh. Ooh. That's what happens when you get older.
Whoa.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.